evening. It's a pleasure tonight to perform for you a piece that I wrote a few years ago, actually. And in fact, it was recorded onto, I'm not sure if anybody knows what this is, but it was known as a compact disc. I sort of have a lot of nostalgia with compact discs because it reminds me of a time when musicians could make money out of recordings, as opposed to like 0.0001p per Spotify stream. Anyway, I won't go off on a rant about that. I also wanted to plug this. So I have CDs and Alice has CDs if you'd like to purchase them at the back of the hall for a special Indian discount price. Buy one for the price of two and get one free or something like that. Anyway, I've spent a lot of time, talking of voices, I've spent a lot of time, many years of my life, trying to find a voice for these drums, actually, believe it or not. I'm assuming you know what these drums are called? Tabla, thank you very much for tabla. When I travel abroad, people say, oh, you're a musician, you play the tabla. Is that like a sitar? And I say, not really, no. Well, what is it like? It's a bit like like an Indian bongo, I suppose, really, to be a bit rough about it. Does it sound like bongo? Not really, no. But what's interesting about Indian instruments, and also upsetting to me in a way, is that if you think of an Indian instrument, it's usually an Indian person playing it, which is a bit strange. So I spent a lot of time to sort of democratize the playing of Indian instruments. And it's been a bit of a challenge, actually, and there's so much mystique that shrouds these instruments, and it's there already, it's ingrained in society. When I tell people that I play the tabla, they say, oh, it must be very calming and meditative. Well, I've recorded over 2,000 Bhangra songs, and they're definitely not calming or meditative. But there's that sort of preconception that we all have about Indian instruments. Also, there's something about practicing for hours and hours and hours until your hands bleed. So, all these notions really keep people away from these instruments. And I think that's a problem, and I've spent a lot of time to sort of demystify Indian music. I hate the banner East meets West. All my life I've played on this banner East meets West, and I have the same sort of retorts to the phrase like, haven't we met before? You know, it's like we keep meeting. The beauty of our concert tonight, for example, and also in particular NW Live Arts performance, is that we're not meeting here in front of you. We met already, and we're having a conversation. So that's really the beauty. And I think there's a fascination with this East meets West. And us Indians, I blame my brothers and sisters as well, we keep selling this mystique, and you guys keep buying it, and it keeps the vicious circle alive. These drums remain, and usually we play sort of close to the audience. So, and I always encourage people to come up and have a go on the tablets, because you just need to do that, and it's so beautiful. Honestly, that doesn't require years and years of practice, as you can probably imagine. What you play on tablets can be complicated, but it can also be very simple and beautiful. So I really like to encourage people to cancel those notions from their minds, and really encourage you to actually just have a go on it. These really beautiful instruments. I also, the other thing also with Indian music is, like, if I say India to you, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? It could be anything. There's nothing right or wrong about this. Well, shout out things about India that are automatically there. Yoga. Curry. Beauty. Yes, cool. Thank you. Anything else? Hinduism. Okay, great. So there's all this stuff. Anything else? Sanskrit. What was that one? Colour. Great. So these are all beautiful words. Not one of you mentioned the Himalayas, which is not it's not an attack on you, but it's just that it's interesting in India. Even if I ask my Indian fellow countrymen, they probably wouldn't say Himalayas automatically as something that people associate directly with India. But I remember in lockdown speaking to my cousin in India, and he went out into his garden with his son, and they saw the Himalayas for the first time because the smog had cleared. And so my nephew said, "What's that, Dad?" And he said, "Well, it's always been there. It's just been covered in smog." So it's incredible. Himalaya for me, and in fact, the reason I'm talking about Himalaya is because this piece is called Himalaya. And Himalaya, you could argue, is a sort of boundary between India and China, or let's call it a line rather than a boundary. But a line or a fence or a wall, you could argue, separates people. It also is a place where people come together. And so I was really inspired to write this piece called Himalaya, which bringing in sort of the voices of China and the voices of India in a combined sort of voice. And so that we're about to perform this piece. It was written originally for a string quartet, but now, with these amazing musicians on stage, looking forward to playing it. I also live in Southall, as some of you might know, which is affectionately called Little India. And we don't have Himalayas in Southall, sadly, but there is a very famous carpet shop in... Bear with me for a moment. There's a very famous carpet shop in Southall called Himalaya Carpets, and I was wondering, I know the owner, I've never wondered why is it called Himalaya Carpets. My brother is a branding expert, and he suggested that it was because Himalaya carpets. Anyway, I spent a lot of time on that joke. It was really terrible. So let's present this piece. I hope you enjoy it. And it's called Himalaya. Everyone's going, "Oh my God." Can I just have a very quick F, please? Thank you.
Hello to everyone. I hope you enjoyed until this time. So, I try to bring you the Persian emotion. Although my country passing bad days today. This piece name is I Had a Voice. I had a voice when silence robbed me in the court. When silence soaked my four-walled darkness, I had a voice until the judge's gavel knocked twice. Be silent. Silence didn't know without my voice. Silence was meaningless. The echo of my stare as it faded irritated an old wound, pushing out clotting blood. As hopeful as hope blossoms, seeding in the crack of a wall, playing hide and seek as they emerge. My voice, hoarse from the lash of interrogation, didn't tremble, while the whisper of lash shook the voice of others. When your voice, harsh with hubris, deafened all inhabitants, nothing stops me dancing to the music of a lash. When your voice germinates from silence, I reminded of my own voice we discovered in suburbia. How naive we are, how naive we are, waiting in the empty and deserted train station for absurd sounds. Leave it. How are good voices supposed to flourish? Leave it. How many grievances do I have against our time? Ah, leave it. Leave it. The next piece is in my mother tongue. Let me invite you in my mother tongue. When I can't express myself in the language you dance to, let me love you in my mother tongue. Foreign poems caress with the breeze of love. Please, for once, let me hug you in my mother tongue. I cherish how I feel reading Shakespeare, as though I've put on foreigner's clothes, yet still smell like myself. With rich Hafez poems from Persia, bathing you in tenderness in my mother tongue. Call to me the way you call to your neighbors, face to face in the morning with a smile. But let me call back to you from the universe of a smile in my mother tongue. Speak your heart to me. Unburden yourself of things never said before. I offer all my truth. Let me be all ears in my mother tongue. The wine of your kindness may fill my glass, but my love can fill an ocean. I can make you drunk in my mother tongue. مستت میکنم عشقم به زبان مادری با شراب عشق که اقیانوس رو پر کرد. از برات دامن کشان، از برات دامن کشان، از برات دامن کشان، میکنم نامهربان از من آزرده دل که دگر بینی نشان. رفتم که رفتم، رفتم که رفتم، رفتم که رفتم، رفتم که رفتم. Thank you.
As I said, incredibly inspiring, and yeah, this experience will stay with me for a long time, so thank you for that help. I will be playing some solo Bach now, which Caroline was very keen on including, and it somehow really made it very special to me when we first met. Alice, Nalugo, Tanya, and Shahab many weeks ago, and we had a little vibe together and read some poetry and played a bit. And I just remember how much Nalugo was taken by how calming the solo Bach was. And I have a complicated relationship with classical music. I think it can be problematic in some ways, and somehow just hearing him say those words made me see it in a completely different light. And so before he reads his final poem, I will be playing the Allemande and Sarabande from the third Bach suite.
Back again on the stage. The final piece I will read is called This Voice Is Not My Voice. This voice we hear, this voice is not my voice. That voice coming to me from far away. coming from 1,000 places of nostalgia, carrying images of a lost landscape, and the faces that overflowed it. This shivering voice trying to recall that lost landscape. The faces of people who surrounded her and the melancholy music she heard night and day. This voice we hear today, this voice is not mine. My voice has been silent since a distant date I can't pin down. This voice no longer knows how to sing the lullabies or nursery rhymes entrusted to me by my mother and my mother's mother. This voice finds it difficult to laugh in the right place at other people's jokes. This voice struggles to express the feelings shaped by my exhausted brain. This voice is not my voice. This voice is a ghost whisper, the shadow of a sound, since being immersed in the new world in which she found herself. And all the new faces that encircle her. This voice is not my voice. The voice I had found itself looked up deep inside me, too soon in a cage whose keys I misplaced. When can I spring her into freedom? When will she occupy once more a place at the heart of my being? When she returns, how will she speak? With what rhythm? What power? What will? This voice is not my voice. Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
That was amazing. Yeah. Wow. Guys, we've come to the last tune of the night.
I kind of expected that.
Thank you for coming. Please give it up for Freedom from Torture, Right to Life, and Northwest Life Arts. Caroline, Sheila, Abby, Melanie, and all the team, thank you so much. Everybody here at King's Place as well, thank you so much for having us and looking after us and doing a wonderful job, etc., etc. This last tune is from Sardinia. Is anyone here from Sardinia? Right. Has anyone here been to Sardinia? Oh, great. Well, this one goes out specially to you guys. It's a great old tune. It's really old, like hundreds of years old, and there's like a bazillion different versions of it. And basically it's saying, the words are saying, there are some guys who are very selfishly trying to steal all the land. They're putting fences around it and stopping people from living on it in the manner to which they have been doing so for many centuries. The words are basically saying, you barons, I swear on my life, if you don't moderate your tyranny, we're going to unseat you. But the literal translation is, I'm going to kick you off your horses. So at some point in the song, I don't know if you start to like sort of feel the sort of like, God, come on, you barons, moderate your tyranny. Then you can maybe start doing some horse noises. It feels great. It feels really good. Can we just try it for a sec? What else have we got? Like a bit of neighing. Go for it. Come on. Yeah. Yes. I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you. Let's do this. Okay, thank you very much, guys. All the very best. This is Tanka Sera da Samuru. Tanka sera da samuru, fatta sassa ferra, sisu kiri firin tera, lai ensera da puru. Tanka sera da samuru, fatta sassa ferra, sisu kiri firin tera, lai ensera da puru. Tanka sera da samuru, fatta sassa ferra, fatta sassa ferra, fatta sassa ferra. In suo popolo magari baronessa tirania, procura di moderare chi si innopra vita mia, tora dessa pe intera, declarata già sa guerra, a contra dessa prepotenza, e con essa pazienza, all'insù